Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news, baby dolls. Bitcoin at 109, 110,000 American dollars. The monthly candle is still pumping and pumping. There are a bit of concerns though, because Bitcoin has now hit this big record streak on the green weekly candles. Check this out: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is where we're checking ourselves out. It really does feel though we've turned a bit of a corner now. Ethereum has just started to rise right now. It's very interesting. A couple of things have lined up, especially that Bitcoin McDominance, which we are going to go through. This is the Ethereum monthly chart here. So the most common chart you'll see, friends, Ethereum is in a massive, massive wedge. And I mean a ginormous multi-year wedge. Pretty much this triangle, bull flag, whatever the hell you want to call it. Okay, this big triangle thingy me thing. So hopefully we are going to crank up here. Maybe there's some jitters. Bitcoin screws us around and it's actually ready to go. What I'm expecting for the bull market is hopefully, okay, somewhere between, 16 and 13 around here. And then in the next bear market, we are like back down or whatever. Around 3,800 maybe is the next bear market floor. Why? Because we've hit 3,800, this price, 6 times before. We literally hit it 6 times. So if you put on a linear chart, that's what it'll look like. It just look like, and then hopefully makes a floor, and then it continues up higher as you move on to the cycles. We don't know how it's going to play out. No one does, okay? It's just, but we always say that, but just be careful, friends. Like, when people say, no one knows what happens next, I'll just be honest, right? Usually, the rate of people saying that, it happens as the bull market progresses, and it's people who have, like, so much anxiety, myself included, where you really don't want it to end. So you're like, no one knows what happens next. No one knows what happens next, right? See, barely anyone's saying that in the bear market. No one knows what happens next, right? They say like, oh, you don't know that this thing's going to work again. They say it like that, right? But now in the bull market, there's a lot of people with heaps of anxiety. Remember, this is the Ethereum price chart, $3,800. Now, remember, Ethereum, friends, is a reflection of altcoins, the biggest altcoin. It reflects the business cycle. Remember, the business cycle has been crushed 30 months, but now flash PMI has ticked up, right? Remember, flash PMI is the forward reading of the normal PMI, which is going to come out anytime soon. I should go check it. Maybe it's coming out today or something within the next few days or whatever. So what do we want to do, friends? Because we're listening to the highest value content in crypto, why don't we go check it out right now? Okay, and friends, yeah, I've actually found out when it's coming. It's next week. It's Tuesday, June, around here, depending on your time zone. So it's coming out next week on Tuesday. ISM Manufacturing PMI. They don't even have an estimate guess for it. So I guess it just comes closer. So, but like I said to friends, you don't actually really need it. The Bitcoin price can tell you what the ISM is going to do. Bitcoin prices all that in today because it's very hyper reactive to it. So I've shown you charts where you can look at the implied. Implied means you can guess where ISM is going based off what Bitcoin did in those 30 days. And actually, it's quite accurate. It's pretty cool. So we're obviously, because Bitcoin went from 75K, remember, we just did up only, right? So Uncle Bobby sells a third here with Ivan, and then bang, we just go up straight away from 75K straight up to literally 110,000. So you think about this, right? Bitcoin doing an emphatic push up like this, you know what I mean? Going up 40, 50%. That's pretty much, that's a positive PMI reading. That's why it's nice actually to confirm itself above 52. If the flash PMI is it ends up being correct in that regard. Now I'm going to show you the Bitcoin dominance, friends, which is obviously we've been talking about the Bitcoin dominance for a long time. When Altseason, when Altseason, it's taken forever and ever, but it's because of the business cycle, right? That's why. Look, right now, friends, it's just the unicorn of these events, right? They're lining up really like wildly. So Uncle Peter Schiff, permanent fudder and permanent diarrhea taker of Bitcoin since it was $12. He gets a special invitation to the shit fest we call the Bitcoin conference when he's there actually flying there right now. And he's literally got a stand and he literally just told everybody, I'm going to FUD the shit out of Bitcoin. So I'm literally just going to come and FUD it. Okay, which is interesting. Now, I'm looking at that. And some people, it's half, it's funny. And half of it, I'm like, wait a minute. You guys have lost your way so much. You invite CBDC trash Tether CEO who's literally going to freaking poison and strangle everybody. And by the way, friends, I literally made a breaking news video here too yesterday, just hours ago. Tether just paused, blacklisted 91 addresses in crypto. There you go. Breaking. Tether confirms PDI thesis. by blacklisting 91 crypto addresses. Who are these addresses? Don't know. Under what instruction? Any legal jurisdiction? Don't know, right? It's like, boop, see us. Okay, so all of these people, that's why this really is a poop fest. They're invited to the Bitcoin conference, and it's literally happening right here, because they're just so euphoric, bro. But this is the most important part that we're going to look at. Let's look at the price action of the chart. We have had, this, friends, this is how you know, usually in charts, it ain't ever coming back, okay? When you do a drop and it comes back to the fib, all right, and then you reject off the Fibonacci, okay, it's never coming back, okay? The ones that come back are where there's a big, fat, giant, just vertical drop. It goes bang, 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 like that, something like that. It looks like it's never coming back, right? But actually, what ends up happening, these things bottom out, and they end up just kind of grinding their way all the way back. They usually do that. And then we usually do some sort of double top. That's actually how our Bitcoin cycle 2021 played out. When you're looking at that macro thing, it gave you a chance to get out, even though no one felt like a chance, felt like everything was destroyed. So this is the Bitcoin dominance chart out here. This line that I'm showing you, see this yellow line? That's the business PMI, manufacturing PMI. So I just leave it here as a faint line as well, just so we can see. But yeah, so it's ready to rock and go down. We got a long, long, long way to go. I mean, you just check, remember, just check this out, bro. We have, you have not made a lower low, bro, in how long? Look at this. For like, dude, you have not made a lower low, bro. It's been 2 years. 2 years you haven't made a lower low, like not one at all. So you know, well, so you think, oh, that's super, super strong. Yeah, but it depends on your opinion, man. You super strong, yeah, but think about the type of people who are long Bitcoin. They're long Bitcoin because they're like, oh, you're up only. You never go down. The government loves you, right? If the government loves you, that means red candles are banned on the Bitcoin dominance. That means Bitcoin's going to, in their mind, they think Bitcoin's just going to keep gaining on literally everything else in the cryptocurrency industry. Nope, not even your opinion. I'm just telling you an emphatic no. Bitcoin has no technology. The world is becoming more digital. We can't have pet rock. And everyone, let's go celebrate and literally hold hands and sing songs around the pet rock, okay? That's not going to work like that. You can say it's going to work like that. I'll bet all 3 of my testicles it ain't going to work like that. We can already see evidence of every single cycle coming on that's been approaching crypto. What do? We add more tech, we add more coins, we add more ideas, we throw a lot of things out there and we see what sticks. By the way, you don't even have to ask for my opinion. You just look at the big fat red arrow. Look at this. This is Bitcoin dominance, huge long-term macro trend, okay? Bitcoin's dominance over the crypto industry goes down. Because, friends, that's what happens, right? Bitcoin's got adding no technology. That's what happens, right? So, but what I'm saying now, look, trust me. I didn't care that not everyone agrees with me. I didn't give a crap, okay? I like that because it's nice as in like, oh, sweet, I'm on the right side, okay? If Bitcoin dominance was so low and it's like 20% one day, right? It will be 20% one day, okay? It will be 20% one day. It's down so low here, and literally every single person in the world will be saying Bitcoin's trash, has no tech, yada, 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 yada. That's when you got to be concerned. When everyone finally opens their eyes to that. And what you might actually find here, friends, you never know, right? I'm not saying don't worry about this 20% number, but you might find over time, right? Long time from now, many years, there will be a pivotal moment. The Bitcoin, basically the chain, all the community there, including Eric Gall and Udi, if they're still there, they're going to have to make a big decision, okay? Do they try to add some technology, right? Do they try to change the inflation and no one's going to let them? Or how do they basically solve for everything? Because see, you're adding no use case, so the thing is just being, the halvening just keeps basically chewing itself away and you keep losing the inflation over time. So, but this is eventually long term, but they don't want to change anything right now because the price is going up. That's why I think what's going to happen is, I'm here 18 hours a day, dude. I could just see this. This is as clear as day. Bitcoin dominance will go so low, it will make Eric and Udi and a lot of Bitcoin people beg and plead with the Bitcoin core and community to allow them to consider changing the inflation or adding technology or maybe allow some smart contract thing somewhere. That's what's going to happen. Because right now, this is the worst thing that could ever happen for Bitcoin is for this Bitcoin dominance thing to just keep going up like this. Because 1, you've trapped a lot of people, and 2, you have been rewarded for doing the wrong thing. Yeah, you've been rewarded by Michael Saylor and other companies taking on leverage to go buy you instead of touching Ethereum and altcoins, the Bitcoin infrastructure. Do you see why it's really, really bad? Friends, it's kind of like if you have children, you know, let's say your son just turns, let's say you're in the States, you're in Texas, your son just turns 21, yeah? And he goes out to the club, his first night out, he gets so drunk, he vomits, he diarrheas, right? And in the middle of the night, you wake up, let's say you get a call, you know what I mean? And it's like 3 a.m. and then you get out of bed in your fluffy slippers and you go and you speed to go pick up your son. You're like, oh, no, you know what I mean? Like, see, you're just rewarding him. Imagine you do that like 5 times in a row. Okay, think about that. You're like leveraging against your sleep. Like you're pushing yourself to the limit. When really what the right thing to do is you're like, walk. Okay, you want to be a hard CUNT? You want to go out and drink, get sloshed like that? Right, 5 nights in a row, yeah, you can walk home. Okay, you're gonna learn your lesson. You don't get like a free ride from everybody. See what I mean, friends? Well, you can do the same thing with Bitcoin. The thing is, though, we're dealing with billions and billions and billions of dollars, right? Trillions of potential dollars. So no one really thinks of it like that because there's this mind warp, because these prices are going up, because it's this emotional connection. Okay, they really do see Bitcoin like their child, but it's effectively what's happening. Now, for the rest of us waiting for Ethereum to stop pooping us for 5 seconds, we can see on the ETH BTC chart, ETH BTC 0.024, still a very, very, very low number. But like, you know, I saw some BCB stuff, these charts as well, friends. If we're looking at Bitcoin as well, it's kind of interesting. He's actually he really thinks we're going back down to like this area here, somewhere here for a retest, where we might actually go, pop, we might actually get something like that. Now, if that happens, 1, we're ready. But 2, okay, I know they're just squiggly lines and stuff. But 2, like, that would, it's kind of funny. This is Colin Talks Crypto. You know, friends, Colin, you gotta think how funny it is. Remember, friends, Colin Talks Crypto, okay? He showed Raoul Pal's just the global M2 correlation stuff. And his comment section, shout out to Colin, by the way. His comment section, it's literally retailer noobs, okay? They literally have no idea about markets or anything. They've come in and they literally said, I'm not joking, man, their comment section is, we have to put this guy in the Bitcoin Hall of Fame next to Satoshi, okay? And then they're not joking. And you're probably thinking, nah, this is a joke. No, it's not a joke, friends. Because because what do retailers want? They want to know if it goes up or down or up or down or up or down like every day, like the dopamine, up or down, up or down, up or down. They want to know that. So once you get to see a chart that goes, oh, down and then up and then a bit down and then up and down, up and down, up and it gets them hypnotic. If they go into these little hypnosis. That's why I thought, well, you know how these fractals usually go, right? Everybody's turbo leverage long, including James Wynn, who we'll talk about soon. Wouldn't it be wild if like this happened? And like, there you go, you trusted the fractal again, did you? And then I thought it would be even more funny as this happens, right? On this recovery back up, Ethereum is like a more vertical continuation. Ethereum is like closer back to its high, and then Ethereum ends up being the one that follows the global M2, right? These are the type of stuff that you just see markets. It's not like they never do this. They always do stuff like this, where everybody's caught on one side and there has to go and readjust. Now, checking this stuff out, friends. Remember, I mentioned here, Ethereum has started to move upwards now. Bitcoin dominance is sitting on a 61.8%. Retrace, I'll just quickly check out. PulseChain altcoins are doing nothing. As we crank around, nothing pretty much, even though Ethereum's moved up. PWBTC having a bit of a thrust in a nice direction on the way up. Most importantly, friends, people still don't understand the PulseChain Ethereum correlation, because what happens is, it's kind of funny. I made a post in one of the tweets. I said, the correlation is not micro. Okay, look at this. I'm just telling you right now, look at this, friends. Ethereum, Ethereum was 4K, where was Ethereum 4K? Around here. Okay, Ethereum was 4K and it's been dropping ever since, yeah? So Pulse has dropped, if you check this out, it has dropped 67% more than Ethereum. You get it? So also another way to think about this, PulseChain has matched Ethereum's price literally for 1 year. Look at this. Literally for 1 year, no matter what, look at it, exactly, literally to the T. Exact same return, PulseChain and ETH. Okay, it's flatter now. So it's funny, I said you can't look at the micro correlation. So what do people do? They go down on this shitty little daily chart and they see that this is what they're looking at. They go, oh, bro, the correlation's broken. The correlation's broken, bro. Look what they're looking at. This is a funny part, bro. This is a little shitty 4%. This is what you're looking at. This is what you say the correlation's broken up here. And remember, it's not a direct correlation, okay? It disconnects, okay? It disconnects. It's slingshot leverage. You know what slingshot is? Yeah, slingshot takes time to load. Yeah, it takes time to load. And that's when people obviously naturally ask the question, okay, when is a slingshot going to fire? Well, man, if we knew that, you just put your freaking 50x leverage long or short every time you got to inflection point, wouldn't you? But you know markets aren't that easy. So it just requires time. Just like how the stock market is slingshot leverage on global M2 liquidity, isn't it? Yeah. And then the NASDAQ has 95% correlation to global M2. Yeah, but then Bitcoin is slingshot leverage on the NASDAQ. You need the NASDAQ to go up first, and then Bitcoin follows later. Yeah, and then you have Ethereum slingshot leverage on Bitcoin. Yeah, it used to take 1 year. Now it's taken 2 years. See how long it can take? And then you have the altcoins, which are slingshot leverage on everything else. So we're still waiting for that, right? So people who get stressed about stuff like that, because, bro, they've never gone up. The daily time frame, friends, that's for literally short-term trading. Okay, the edges you're looking for are tiny. We're here looking for elephants to kill. By the way, we love elephants as well. You know, just an expression that Warren Buffett uses. Now, friends, I have lit the candle. Again, I've been lighting the candle pretty much every day. Just for all of us and everything we've gone through, because hopefully now, finally, the business cycle gets to turn up. I do find it fascinating. Everyone thinks it's over already in July because they don't understand the business cycle. That's good, friends. It's kind of funny. Like, I put this out to the universe and still no one looks at it. That's the best part about it. Like, this is literally free for me. Literally as free can get. So I'm like, oh, I literally have the answer right here for you and you're fading it. Okay, good. Thank you very much. Friends, look at this funny. Just look at this, okay? What did the retailers, what did they latch onto? Did they latch onto your friend Somi's business cycle PMI showing you it's got to go above 52 to get alt seasons and how long it lasts, 10 to 18 months after it hits 52 for the top of the cycle? Do they latch onto that? Absolutely no. No. What do they latch onto instead? Carlin Talks Crypto. That's what they latch onto, friends. They're like, oh, the ticky, the up and the down, the ticky down and the up. You got to love them. You have to love them. That's what they latch onto. And you want that. Okay, you want that. I would be shit scared, okay, if the retailers were like flocking around me already. I'm like, oh crap, bro. You're not meant to be here yet. You're not meant to be here yet. You understand? So we are going to win. Let's actually crank it a bit. All right. So this is interesting, right? Over 150,000 Ethereum validators have signaled support to raise the block gas limit from 36 million up to 60 million. So it's about a 2x, boosting layer 1 transaction capacity without a hard fork. So that's one of the biggest criticisms Solana and Ivan and everyone says for Ethereum, that they're too slow. They go, bro, just raise the gas limit. But the thing is, Vitalik wants... basically, like, he wants, like, there's an African kid, doesn't even have a computer, right? He's third world area. He's in one of the little voodoo mama tribes. All he's got one of the little desert mice. Yeah, he's got literally one desert mouse, and it's just running on the cartwheels, and it's generating, like, you know, 0.1 amp of electricity. So Vitalik wants that kid to be able to run an Ethereum validator. That's part of... I'm serious, friends, as well. I'm not joking. That's Vitalik literally wants everyone in the world to be able to run it, right? And then that's what makes it slow because if you had to download and process stuff faster, then you wouldn't be able. You don't need one desert mouse, friends. You need like 3 desert mice. You know what I mean? So that'll introduce a bit of problems. Okay, so slowly they're starting to crank it up a bit. And ever since, you know, friends, like I just tell you, dude, all their talk, okay. Like, once again, it's just going to come down to the price, Habibi. I told you, when we were in 2022, Vitalik was acting like a hard CUNT. He was like, oh, I'm never going to raise the gas limit. Everything's fine. Okay, you know what the market did? The market went, okay, bro, I'm going to send you down 80% in literally a straight line. you will be one of the world's most embarrassed people. You will freaking regret coming into this freaking industry. And he did. Okay, he did. 80% in a straight line. Public embarrassment. Total embarrassment everywhere. Everybody wants to kill you. Every day, doesn't matter. Friends, you don't understand what his life is. He posts anything. Go check the tweets. What are the tweet replies? Bro, look at the ETH price. Bro, I'm poor because of you. I put my life savings because of you. Stop drinking soy. Right? Everybody's just losing their minds 24/7, right? It gets to you, you see? So now, obviously, what do they start to do? Hey, let's raise the gas limit. Let's actually do stuff. So the price is a signal. That's why I'm very confident. It breaks my heart a bit, but I am confident of this. Bitcoin dominance will go down, and it will also have price telling it a signal. Like, hey, man, you know that very, very long distant future thing where your tail emission of Bitcoin is going to go down and you're going to have to find the way to pay for people to use your chain? Yeah. We, the market, we're not going to reward you now and let you all get your like $600,000 BTC so you can dump on everyone. Like, you're going to have to think about a solution earlier, right? Because that's what markets do, friends. They surprise you like that. James Wynn as well, friends. James Wynn, he gets his liquidation hunted. I'm going to show you very, very fast. And he actually made this post. Look at this. Look, friends, they literally, his liquidation was right here, and they crashed Bitcoin all the way down to exactly his liquidation. Just to tell you, don't I tell you, predators are always watching. There are all these scum, friends. They're just like this, but we can call it scum, bro. Like, you're on a football field, you know, is the other team scum? Yeah, well, you talk to your teammates because you want to beat them. But really, like, it's a game, you know. You can't really think about calling everyone scum. Like, everyone's trying to take each other's money, but that's a game, bro. Like, you know, no crying in the casino, right? Like, do you call the blackjack dealer scum? You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you know what I mean? Like, you know, there's the rules of the game, bro. Like, you can win, you can. So, he had a $500 million position public, and now I've said, like, I've shown you, look at this. He goes, my exact liquidation price. They forced Bitcoin down to 108,700. Luckily, I was not sleeping or busy, as they would have succeeded. I instantly saw the rapid dumping and was forced to start selling off my position. So he started selling off his position to lower his thing, but James Wynn, bro, if they just wipe you out, if Bitcoin goes to 96K, dude, everything's finished, man. He went up to 84 million. Now he's back down to like 25, and then he went down to as low as 8. He's swinging quite hard, bro. But yeah, he's a punter. He's a punter. A lot of people have been digging into his wallets. They found a lot of suspicious stuff. Like, there's been like some side friends who are like, you know, maybe have bought coins that he said he was going to shill, and they make 300K, and they're trying to accuse him of all this scamming and stuff. Look, here's the thing, friends. I've hit a point. I just don't give a shit anymore, bro. It's everything. This is the game, dude. This is the game. There's scammers everywhere. That's it, dude. That's literally it. We know the game. It's a freaking JPEG casino, bro. You know what meme coins are like. By the way, look what they did to Ethereum. So not even Ethereum is safe. If Ethereum, a legit thing, still cucks the crap out of you, you know what you're walking into, man. So everyone's going to have to make their own decision, all right? But also it makes you think too. Look at this for leverage trading. This is why, friends, you got to just don't do it, dude. Just it's because by the time you learn, the cycle's already over, okay? That's why I'm telling you. You're not going to outperform the growth rate in that time. Imagine how illegal and corrupt they do this in the back end on all exchanges. This is why 99% of traders lose. You need to trade wide and not have an aggressive leverage stop placed around just for them to ping you. You know, so you just basically got to be trading different, friends. And by the way, you don't even really need to be trading different. Like, the guy, bro, had 40x leverage, you know, like, it just, oh, man. Yeah, so when you're trading, like, that's why putting your invalidation area, if you're trading price action stuff, you don't want to get pinged all the time. Okay, you have to be, it's a skill. It's like a sport, and it changes over time, right? So honestly, it's not even worth it, dude. It's not, like, I'll just tell you, I watched a trading interview. There's this guy, Fabio from Italia. Fabio, he won the world trading competition. Yeah. This guy's a machine. He's an awesome scalper. He trades as the NASDAQ. Okay. Do you want to know what his return was? I think for like the year. He won the competition. Okay. Now, it was a year or 3 months, whatever it was. But friends, this is elite. I'm talking about the guy's a Lionel Messi of scalping. Okay. It was like 117%. Yeah. 117%. It's a freaking 2x, bro. Yeah. And what did second place get? 90%. Okay, what did rank 100 get? 30%. You see that? So unless you're literally Lionel Messi, okay, that guy milking it. One guy. Yeah, so if you have 1,000 people, okay, cool. Maybe one guy milks it. One guy or girl. What are the other 999 people going to do? They're going to lose their money trying to do that. That's why you get funneled into all these brokers where they know you're going to lose. They're like, oh, how much money you got to pun with? 10 grand? Okay, maybe you will get like $1,000 out of this person because of their buy and sell fees, and they realize they don't win and they try to recruit someone else, you know? I play that game, fans, but I don't do that game. You see? Don't play that game. I'm telling you not to play that game. Play the game of long-term investing, spot buy and hold, okay? Because you know there's 1,000 people. Yeah, literally, man, it's anywhere from, okay, at least 500 are winning. At least, okay? Literally, friends, the longer term you hold, okay, you don't get 100% win rate, of course, but 1 in 10 coins are literally just scams. 1 in 10 projects get abandoned and rugged, and it's crypto. That's the real number, by the way. But, okay, let's make it 8. Let's make it, 20%. You got to think about that, bro. Compare a 1% win rate to an 80% win rate. You're literally 80 times more likely to win. You see? So when you see all these people, they leverage, trade, and exchange, they know this, friends, but they don't. Oh, do you think they're so smart to understand Bitcoin strategic reserve, the US debt, inflation rates, Bitcoin, the blockchain? They're so smart to understand that, but they can't understand the thousands of paragraphs of evidence and data that says, by the way, 1% of your customers only win, and 99% literally get crushed into oblivion, and they waste 2 to 3 years of their life trying to do this. Do you think, oh, I never saw that part, right? So, but it's because of the money, man. So they sold their soul, and they can go suck on a fat one, right? So the rest of us, I'm going to keep playing spot coins and holding for the long term. Check this out as well, friends. Consumer confidence has risen to 98, exceeding 86 expectations. And I've mentioned here, so see how the data of consumer confidence is ticking up? Well, that's backward looking as well, just like Flash PMI, okay? You remember, friends, I even showed you from Raw Power, shout out to Rara, they have the forecasting 9 month into the future PMI model. And it was like shooting up, right? And it's based off oil, US treasuries, US dollar. They just throw some model in, right? They call it like financial conditions. But because it's very volatile, right? It's very hard. But yeah, it was basically from 2 months ago, 3 months ago, it was already smashing up. So, but it's a 9 month lead. So it's what the next 9 months is literally looking up, assuming no black swan, assuming nothing comes and blows everything up, right? And yeah, see, it's all starting to tick up now. See, Flash PMI, here comes a 52, you know? So hopefully we do continue to crank up. MetaPlanet, remember, friends, that was a Japanese stock. I think that was a Japanese stock company. Their premium nears $600,000 per Bitcoin. My gosh, man, this is wild. So over 5x the spot price. Retail investors are chasing exposure through proxy stocks. So this is extremely dangerous. You will all lose your money. You will all get decimated. And who's going to win? The people selling the shares on you. This is actually MetaPlanet. I just checked them out right now. I think it's funny, friends. For Japan, it's kind of funny. Their tickers, they're just numbers like 3350. It's kind of funny how they always do that. So this thing is, oh my God, holy moly, bro. What the hell is this, bro? 48x. Oh my gosh. That's wild. Oh my gosh. Oh crap. He's still offside from 2006, baby. We're coming all the way back. Oh man, that's wild. So that's what it looks like on a log chart. But yeah, log chart of COPE, right? So let's zoom in. Oh my gosh, man. This is freaking... Now, you know, I think it's literally... I don't know if this is actual momentum play. This is like, you know, shorts get stopped out. People are buying. You know, it just takes time to distribute. Stuff like this. This is wild, man. This is a monthly chart as well. So, yeah, very, very dangerous. Very dangerous to have a premium on top of Bitcoin because you are slingshot leverage on Bitcoin as well. So if Bitcoin's trend starts going down... See, this is the thing as well, friends. You got to be careful. The Grayscale GBTC, the premium disappeared before the bull market was over. In fact, the premium, remember the Grayscale Bitcoin, right? It started disappearing early in 2021. I mean, the bull market barely started. I mean, talk about the alt season, okay? That's how dangerous it is. So it went from a plus 20%. It was already like back to zero within like February of 2021. And then as the year went on, it just like the discount, like 5%, 5%. So you just be careful. That's one thing. So the way I see it is these companies doing the same thing as a Grayscale. They buy Bitcoin with the stocks and they just leave it there, right? And people are getting a proxy and they have like this discount or premium on them. So that's why you got to be like, obviously, super careful. If you're trading them, you take a stop and everything. Don't be a long-term believer in this. Like, by the way, like, but you got leverage on digital pet rock. You know what I mean? Like, the world's becoming more digital itself. Circle USDC. So I have a cockroach emoji for them because they have a blacklist function on their trash stablecoin. They filed for an IPO, an initial poop offering on the New York Stock Exchange. And remember, friends, Ripple, they said, oh, we're going to buy Circle. No, it's not, bro. These guys got no money. I've seen your balance sheet. There's $1.1 billion that you got by dumping XRP. You guys don't have $14 billion to put the bid in. They put like some fake bid. So they try to buy them for $8 billion or something. I think Circle said they're not for sale, which means like they wanted like 14 billion, I think. Yeah, so Ripple would have to dump like a crap load. But it's kind of funny. They're like, hey, we'll swap. Let us own your company. We'll give you these XRP tokens that we literally minted for out of thin air. It's kind of funny. 21 Shares has filed for a PUI SUI ETF with the Nasdaq, which is scratching our heads, dude. PUI, the whole chain literally got turned off by one dude instantly. Okay, it's literally 1 second. Remember, friends, a $220 million hack a few days ago. Like, why are you guys even in crypto in the first place? Like, you just, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like you're running a marathon race, but when you get tired, you hop in your friend's car who's driving next to you, and then you drive to the end. And we're like, dude, if you're just gonna do that, bro, why are you even running the race? Do you know what I mean? Like, ask yourself, like, why even show up to this race if you're just gonna hop in the car anyway? Like, that's exactly what PUI have done. So it's because there's no legal ramifications for this. Look, friends, I hate to be the bad deliverer of news, but we all know this is coming. Okay, Bitcoin's gonna get powerful with crypto. It's gonna affect the US treasuries in a negative way somewhere, and then the US government is gonna pull it back and go, oh, wait a minute, we're not friends after all. You're a Trojan horse. And that's when I think we're going to start to see a bit of the negativity unwind on it. Because right now, we're in the growth phase. Stable coins help the US get more demand for the US treasuries so they can buy more and splurge more. But that won't last forever. Okay, it's probably a next bear market type of scenario. So friends, remember Microstrategy, right? Remember Microstrategy, there's Michael Saylor. He dumps his shares and he goes buys Bitcoin with it. Okay, Ethereum have one as well. It's called SharpLink. Now, SharpLink, friends, they have raised $425 million for Ethereum in their treasury. Yes, so it's Joe Lubna's company. So if you're obviously from Middle Eastern, friends, you know, Lubna is that yummy yogurt. And no, I will not make any apologies, friends. Every time I'm at family gatherings, okay, someone has to say, excuse me, there are other people who want to eat the Lubna too. No, go speak to Auntie. She's in the kitchen. There's 2 plates. She knows I like to dunk it a lot. And she also knows why I deserve it. It's because when I go in there, I give her a kiss hello. And I say, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Thank you very much. You know, I'd contribute, but I don't think anybody's going to be eating if I contributed, okay? So I'm going to go outside. I'm just going to eat later, okay? So thank you very much, Mr. Joe Lubna. Now, Mr. Joe Lubna, friends, he's also like, yeah, I don't want to spoil the fun, you know, but just let's just say JP Mosquito, Bug. They're all bug eaters, man. They're all friends. They're all it all links to bug eaters. You know what I mean? Joe Lubna. Let's check him out. Yeah, this guy, friends. You just, you know, look, look, YouTube's got some censorship. Everything that you would think is in his background is in his background. That's what I'm saying. It just, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like tick, 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 tick. Ah, man. This is it. But here's the Michael Saylor of Ethereum here. Okay, so let's see if we can pump the bags. In other news as well, friends, Trump's media have announced a $2.5 billion treasury deal using cryptocurrency, Crypto.com, and Anchorage. So remember, Trump is now doing Michael Saylor's strategy. So this is what everyone just copies each other. It's funny. Okay, so remember, everyone's doing Michael Saylor's strategy, as in, I'm going to sell you equity shares to my company, okay? So you buy the share, you give me money now, and then I'm going to go buy Bitcoin, okay? That's my turbo leverage. And now Bitcoin's on the balance sheet, and then you own the shares, and then we have the treasury in the Bitcoin, and then whatever. If people, I don't know, can people trade in and out of it? Maybe they want to try to convert it to an ETF. Then you can make fees of the volume or something out here. That's something. Because that's another way. You've collected money. Now you have a liquidity pairing with BlackRock BTC, which will trade and do volume and stuff over time. I guess that's what they want, right? And the other idea they're all doing is, of course, a stablecoin. Everybody's copying Tether, USD trash, stablecoin supercycle. Maybe PDI has something to do with it. I don't know, but it's an unstable coin. So unstable coin supercycle. That's funny. Yes, and they're all doing the same thing, right? Raising money, giving it to Treasury, dumping the yield, and they go, pay themselves profits. Justin as well. So Vivek Ramaswamy, this dude, friends. Remember Vivek Ramaswamy? He's raising $750 million to do the same thing, right? Another Bitcoin Treasury. He wants to do stuff like buy Mt. Gox's Bitcoin claims. And he says, we will deploy alpha strategies to outperform Bitcoin. As soon as I heard this, I go, stay far away from this, friends. Look, friends, let me just tell you something, dude. There is no alpha if it's public. There is no alpha, okay? You need a full business cycle, Altseason PMI to take you up, but then it'll take you down. There is no alpha, bro. You know what I mean? You convince people it's alpha, easy. Because, everything's going up. We're going to win. PMI is going up. Altseason, always up. You know what I mean? Like, that's the equivalent of season. Stay far away from this, okay? It's poopy time. And I've even said, warning, they will all fail to outperform Bitcoin and it will be a big grift eventually, okay? So it looked like it's doing good. Everything's great. Then the business cycle comes back. The unwind comes. The class action lawsuits against Michael Saylor. Remember, friends, Microstrategy is trading at a premium to the Bitcoin on the balance sheet, okay? Stocks are a Ponzi just as much as freaking crypto, okay? I've been telling you this since day one. Yeah, you trade at a 2x, 100%, which is a 100% premium to the Bitcoin on your asset value. Okay, what happens if you trade at a 50% discount? Yeah, they give like 0% odds of this happening. I'm like, bro, do you understand? How are you in markets for decades and you give this like a 0% probability of happening? Now, they don't really give it a 0% probability. They go less than 1% chance. It's pretty much zero. Okay, so what do you think is going to happen if you trade at a 50% discount to the Bitcoin on your balance sheet for like 6 months? For 12 months? What happens if that discount goes from 50% to 70% discount? What's going to happen? You go, we're going to have to close the gap. Okay, how do you close the gap? You sell Bitcoin. You got it? That's the only way they can close the gap. If the shares are below, there's only one way to bring it back up because no one's buying in the market. Well, guess what, bro? You've only got one thing on your balance sheet. You've got 600,000 BTC. You're going to have to sell it. You have to sell it to start closing the gap. That's exactly what GBTC did. Okay? So they allowed people to convert for it and do the arbitrage on it. See? So how come we can see it but they can't? Well, because, friends, we're not drunk on the euphoria. That's it. Justin as well. MetaMask Trash Wallet has added support for Solana network. So, friends, a lot of you have been having a lot of errors lately. MetaMask, friends, I'll just tell you, I got 3 wallets, okay? MetaMask, Rabby, Internet Money, okay? So, MetaMask, I only have MetaMask because some websites, they don't actually allow Rabby connection. And then Rabby has a setting where it pretends to be MetaMask. So Rabby will connect to your MetaMask and then you'll be able to connect through. I know it's freaking annoying to do all these, but it does it automatically. You can click through and it just ends up working. It just has this pop-up. It's very, very simple. You should be onboarding everybody in a Rabby. I know Rabby do gatekeeping with PulseChain, but you can do the custom RPC. So you can still swap and stuff. You just can't see anything in it. Yes, I guess we're still early. Right, the perks of being early. Michael Chad Saylor says on-chain proof of reserves is a bad idea. So this is the type of boring shit. No one cares, bro. You know what I mean? Like, they put him on stage to talk about all this stuff out here about, on-chain security. Dude, we're here for the old season, bro. Move aside. Okay? Shout out to my friend, Mr. Custard, as well. Where is he watching me from? On his way maybe to work? There he is. This is the only way to make it, friends. This is literally the only way to make it. Where do you watch me? A lot of people watch me. Hopefully not the shower. I can see you. And I can notice you. And I'm telling you, it's okay. It's all right. President Trump's executive director of digital ass says the US is on its way to becoming the Bitcoin superpower of the world. It's funny, you hear all these language. It's literally, let me borrow money and let me just go buy it. Okay, done. it's literally all it is, man. It's kind of funny. Now, I want to give a special shout out, friends, to Matty Allen, because the Bitcoin conference that's happening right now, did you know Matty Allen's mindshare, because Matty hangs around a lot of Bitcoin maxis, friends. He's actually been infiltrating Bitcoin. They're starting to use Hex conference words. Check this out. The almighty Bitcoin conference has fully copied Hex conference themes, right? World record setting and game theory. So these two themes, friends. Look at this. So we'll just show you. So see, friends, we're bleeding out into them. You check it out here. Look at this. So this is the Bitcoin Las Vegas embrace game theory. Okay. Also, check it out here. You have game theory gang. That's obviously from Matty Allen as well. And then you have another one. You have new world record achieved. This is where we have 350 native hex stakes. So they did this cute world record stuff out here, right? And then look at this thing. Actually, I just Senator Cynthia Lummis. But yes, in Bitcoin land as well. See, Guinness world record for most Bitcoin transactions in a single day. So it's bleeding in. It's bleeding in. And if altcoin dominance continues to rise, it'll bleed in more, way more. Now, I have all these videos here as well, friends. So this is Senator Cynthia Lummis. Everyone out here is at the Bitcoin conference.
You had 30 states consider strategic Bitcoin reserves.
That's pretty much talking about the Bitcoin reserves. You have this Bo Hines guy and other people talking out here. And then here's the media channel. See, friends, when I see this, bro, it doesn't look like a CypherPunk thing. It looks like just something else. You know, everyone's got suits. Everyone's got like different colored pants. You got girls there now. Like, friends, like, you know it's over when the girls are in. Because, like, you know, because girls are here for, you know, they're not most girls, they're not going to be like real rebels. You know, they're here for social lubrication, not friction. Okay, so it's usually the men. We go out and like, okay, you know, 10 of us are going out, only 6 are coming back. Well, if you don't make it, I guess that's just it. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what guys do, right? It's way more volatile with that. When you're starting to see stuff like this, the ladies coming in and they're like, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, I love Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin in my breakfast. I love Bitcoin in my tea. I love Bitcoin at yoga. I just love it so, so, so much. When you start to hear that, you don't feel like you're early anymore, you know? Like, I feel like we're just like one update away where Facebook and Instagram are going to have like a little Bitcoin button somewhere. I don't know what it's going to do, but you know what I mean? I feel like we're just like there and we're like, well, that's definitely not early, bro. You know what I mean? Believing in the little 4,000 IQ alien kid, that's early, okay? Believing in the world's first unstable coin that might become stable one day as speculation 300x higher, that's early, you know? The cult within a cult, that's early, you know? But all of these are just words, yeah? You're not really going to believe anything I say until this happens. Until that. That's just how it goes, right? That's right, friends. Markets, right? Nothing is guaranteed, but if you're in spot, you do no leverage, okay? You don't have to worry about one of the two dimensions, which makes it difficult. Remember, there's a price dimension and there's a time dimension, yeah? The price, okay, really hard. Really hard, yeah? Because you can still never get 100% perfect all the time. It's always an edge decaying. But what about the time dimension? Well, if you're leveraged, yeah, you got the time dimension working against you because the borrowing rate is creeping up on you, yeah? But if you're doing spot, there's no time to worry about. You have infinite time. Now, you don't want it to be infinite, but you don't have anybody that can force you out, okay? So with that, we are still going to make it. Like, subscribe, belly button, all. Catch you soon.